morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. And today, we're going to be looking at one of the weirdest leaks or reveals, or however you want to phrase it, we've ever had on this channel. Because we are getting Eevee and Snorlax, Tag Team GX, and I have checked the language here, it is Eevee first, then Snorlax. And it's been leaked on the side of a van. A van! That's so weird. There was a van driving around somewhere in Japan and someone was like, hey, that's got an unreleased, unrevealed Tag Team GX image on. So let's take a picture and start plastering it around the internet. This is the first time we have ever taken images off of a van. Also, right, how weird is it that before this card was put onto the website or anything like that, it was put on a van? Now, shout out to the lovely Joe from Cerebi.net. I've said it a few times. If you're not checking regularly that Pokemon website, you really should be. It's awesome. And it's been pasted around a few places. I put a link to where I did essentially get the image from in the description. But Joe from Cerebi was the one that alerted me to this. This is incredibly weird, but it's awesome. And here's the thing, right? 270 HP. That is ridiculous. If we look at Wailord EX, that had 250. This has got 270. The biggest Stage 2 we have at the moment are these Stage 2 GXs like Metagross that also have 250. 270 is nuts. I mean, the only previous Tag Team GX we'd seen is Pikachu and Zekrom that's sitting there with 240, and that was a lot. This is ridiculous. And here's the thing, right? 270 HP, that is stalling deck territory. That is, you can't KO me territory. That is, I am just going to sit here and chill because I am safe. I mean, if you take something like Pikachu and Zekrom, they can get a KO on a Snorlax using their GX attack, but they have to use 2 Electro Power and a Choice Band, because 2 Electro Power or 1 Electro Power 1 Choice Band will only do 260, and that won't be enough for a KO. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a ludicrous scenario. 270 is a ridiculous amount of HP here. It is a ridiculously huge amount of HP. And this means you can build a deck using cards like Super Scoop Up, so that you can just pick it up, because do remember, this is a basic Pokemon like all Tag Team GXs, and Ace Roller, and Max Potion, while playing your Disruption cards like Crushing Hammer and Enhanced Hammer, and just basically sitting there going, you can't KO me, so I'm just going to sit here healing. Now, although we don't know, it's clearly weak to fighting, because Snorlax and Eevee are weak to fighting. Look at Snorlax GX. So this is clearly weak to fighting. And to be fair, if you take a Buzzwole non-GX, one from Forbidden Light, with a Diancie Prism Star, if you've got 4 prizes remaining, they will do 140, double with weakness is 280, and will get a one-hit KO on you. So you're not invulnerable here, and of course you've got Buzzwole GX here, and don't forget that they've got Beast Ring to accelerate energy. But something like a Buzzwole with a Beast Energy and a Diancie Prism Star using Jet Punch, even with weakness, will do 160, and you'll have 110 HP remaining. That is crazy good. And do remember that both Sledgehammer and Beast Ring revolve around you taking 2 or 3 prizes. 2 for Sledgehammer, 2 or 3 for Beast Ring. So if you're not taking prizes and you're playing the healing plus energy denial game here, they're going to have to get free energy on while you're getting rid of them. So it's not even like they can just go, well, I'm playing Buzzwole, I win. Something like a Lycanroc here is only doing 110, doubled with weakness is 220. Even with a Diancie Prism Star, Claw Slash does 130, doubled is 260, and you survive. This is truly monstrous HP, and one of the giant selling points of this card is going to be the frankly ridiculous HP that it actually has. Now, it does have some attacks, but because this image was shown on the side of a van, we don't have complete information. Obviously, our translation comes from David Hochmann. Obviously, as soon as I saw this picture, I was straight on Messenger to David being like, hey, David, what does it do? David's a lovely man. Obviously, David hooked us up. LimitlessTCG.com, also a brilliant website. And I'm not even joking. Cerebi and Limitless are the two Pokemon websites I use most regularly. And that's genuinely true. That's not me pandering to nice people who help me. So the first attack here, it's clearly for one colorless energy. And essentially, you've just got to look at the empty space in the image. It's clear. If you look at enough cards, the second attack is for 4 colorless energy, the first attack is for 1 colorless energy. Now, there is an argument for 0 energy attacks, but 0 energy attacks are only on Alolan Pokemon. Think things like Alolan Vulpix's Beacon. So, maybe they would bring free attacks in? For Tag Team GXs, I would think that highly unlikely. So the first attack is for 1 colorless energy. It does no damage, and it says attach an energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And it is any energy. So you can attach an extra double colorless energy here, or an extra counter energy. Of course, one of the things you need to remember if you're using an attack to accelerate special energy, you use the attack, you pass to your opponent, and they can immediately use something like an enhanced hammer to get rid of it. I'm going to be honest, this attack seems kind of underwhelming to me. Using an energy to accelerate an energy is kind of a zero-sum game. It's not particularly inspiring. That's not to say it's a bad attack, it accelerates energy, but the fact that it does no damage at all and only accelerates 1 energy, that does seem to me to be just a little bit meh. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's just not very impressive. I mean, something like Flareon GX that we looked at a couple of days ago, for a single energy does 30 damage, and you can attach free basic fire from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. That's not to say it's a bad attack, that's not to say it won't be useful. It is to say, But if you use it to accelerate double colorless energy to Snorlax and Eevee, although I'm a Snorlax fanboy, so it's mostly Snorlax here for me. Eevee's kind of there helping out, and that's adorable, but I'm a Snorlax dude myself. The second attack comes into play, which looks to be for 4 colorless energy, although again, no guarantee here. And you do 120 damage. Now, according to David, the only readable part of this attack is if this attack does 120 damage. 120 more damage. We don't actually know what that if is. We don't know how to do the extra 120 damage. David's suggestion, and I think this sounds eminently sensible, is flip a coin. If heads, it does 240. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, this is great. Because Victini from Guardians Rising can be used, which means you've got a 75% chance, and then you're doing 240. And 240 is nuts, right? 240, well, that'll get you Pikachu and Zekrom Tag Team GX. It will get you Zoroark, etc. And unless you're against something like a 250 HP Metagross, this will KO anything on a heads. And to be fair, even then, Choice Band will get the KO. We are not 100% sure here, so I'm not going to go into great detail. Yes, it's very, very expensive, although if you go into the expanded format, you've got Max Elixir here, which is pretty nuts with this. And you can always use it with any energy acceleration like Malamar. So if you're playing this with any energy acceleration, doing 240 on a coin flip is nuts. Again, I will have a proper video on this when it is fully revealed and we know exactly what it does, but it seems to be 120 with a chance to do 240. If that's on a coin flip, play it in any energy acceleration deck, although Malamar to me seems the most obvious here. Play a Victini, and you've got a potentially giant Pokemon. Although do please remember, these Tag Team GXs give up free prizes when KO'd, and fighting is not the best weakness right now, as we said at the start. As for the GX attack here, it does 210, and there is some other effect if you have 10 cards in your hand. We don't know what the other effect is. Maybe it could be this attack fails if you don't have 10 cards in hand, but come on, it's a GX attack on a Tag Team GX. There's no way it's going to be that restrictive. So it could be draw until you have 10 cards in hand, or if you don't have 10 cards in hand, draw until you do. Or maybe it's paralysis if you've got 10 cards in hand. I honestly don't know. 210 is great. That immediately gets something like Zoroark. With a choice band, you're getting everything up to and including stuff like Decidueye. So it's a very powerful attack. It looks interesting. I would guess it's for 4 energy, because GXs very often have the same cost for the GX attack as their main attack. And I think 210 for 1 energy is ridiculous. So it's clearly powerful, it clearly needs some energy acceleration, and it's got great HP. But given that you can use it with stuff like Malamar as a smash and one-hit KO anything deck, or you can go look at my HP, I'm going to block you and play a disruption deck, I think this has immense potential. No WotC score today, we don't know enough to give it a WotC score, we don't have all the information, but we know it's great as a blocking deck, and incidentally in a year or so when Buzzwole rotates out, that could be even better. And I do think there's clearly some potential here as a smashy deck, because 4 energy, 240 on a coin flip, if that's what it does and we're not 100% sure, is great. And 210 with some other effects seems really good as well. As for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear from you guys. Give me some predictions as to what you think it might do, other than what we already know. Tell me how excited you are for this. Snorlax and Donphan are vying for 3rd favourite Pokemon of mine after Mamoswine and Porygon, so I am delighted about this. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember the rule. Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and even demand that I make a particular video, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, other than checking out youtube.com/WasiPlays and watching some Transformers videos, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.